Will the Washington Huskies be even better in 2023? Welcome to the Voice of College Football and our spring updates per your request. And our first one comes in from Daniel. Thank you so much, Daniel. And of course, it is Washington. Coming off a big bounce back here at 11-2 in Kalen DeBoer's first season in Seattle, coming in from Fresno State. And he was actually the offensive coordinator for one Michael Penix 3 years ago at Indiana. And I believe one of the big reasons why Penix had such an outstanding season this past year in 2022. He had his best completion percentage under DeBoer at IU, 69% in 2019. And then he lit it up for the Huskies, of course, last season. 31 touchdowns, 8 picks, over 4,600 yards. That was the number one figure in the Pac-12 with all those great quarterbacks in that conference. All right. That was enough to lift a bad defense that was number 60 in the country. They were actually number 23 in total defense in that 4-8 season, slid to number 60, need to bounce back if they want to win the conference. But it was the offense that made up for all of it. They went from number 115 the season before all the way up to the number 2 offense in all of college football. All right, the major off-season addition was probably more of a retention. It was, because Rome Odunze, the great wide receiver, is not going to the NFL. He is staying with the Huskies for a final season after he racked up 75 catches and 7 touchdowns. As for the NFL draft losses, they were pretty minimal, but still significant in Jax Kirkland and also Jeremiah Martin, who both finished first team All Pac-12. Martin had 11 tackles for loss and 8.5 sacks. You see the third leading tackler on the team, linebacker Cam Bright, is gone, as well as Jordan Perriman, who had 37 stops from the secondary. Now let's look at those transfer portal additions. They are numerous and they are significant. The number one has to be cornerback Jabbar Muhammad, Oklahoma State. He ranked number 3 in the Big 12 in coverage grade, according to Pro Football Focus. You've got a couple running backs there in Danielle Nagata from Arizona State, and also Dylan Johnson from Mississippi State in that Mike Leach offense. Rest his soul, 48 receptions out of the backfield and 5.5 yards per carry with 3 touchdowns. Help on the outside with Jeremy Bernard, a former 4-star at Michigan State who only caught 7 passes and 2 touchdowns last year. Arizona State edge Joe Moore comes in, as well as USC linebacker Raylan Goforth, who has played a lot of football at USC, 31 games total, 43 tackles this past season. You also have tight end Josh Cuevas coming in from Cal Poly, where he caught 58 passes last season. The Washington recruiting class, pretty standard for the Huskies. 23rd in the nation, 7 4-stars, including 2 cornerbacks at the top of the board who may be needed. We're talking about Caleb Presley and Curly Reed. It all gets started for the Huskies, of course, at spring practice, then on into the fall. The first game is September 2nd at home against Boise State. We will, of course, update and preview the Huskies' schedule and also the season preview as we get closer to 2023. Right here at the Voice of College Football, spring updates per request by you. Bring it on right here at the Voice of College Football.